Hello friends, our today's question is isomorphic string. So what is given in this question is we are given two strings s and t and we have to determine if they are isomorphic. Okay, so two strings are isomorphic if the character in one string can be replaced to get another string. Okay, like in this case we are having s as egg and t as add. Okay, so when isomorphic string are those when if we replace character of s we can get t, and same vice versa if we replace character of t and we get string s. Okay, so in this case if we see if e is mapped with a, okay, and g is mapped with d, so what we can do, we can from s we can form t. Okay, so it will be a, d and d. So we should also check the vice versa of this, like in this case add. Okay, so if we replace a with e and d with g, so it we get the s string. So we are able, by replacing the character of s, we are able to get the string t, and while replacing the character of t with the same mapping we are able to get the string s. So we can say these two strings are isomorphic and we have to return true. Okay, but in another case, okay, like in this case if we see, if we map f with b and o with a, okay, so what we can say, from s here we are able to get b a, okay, but here one o is mapped with a and another o is mapped with r. Okay, so we, in this case we cannot form while replacing the character from s we cannot form t, because okay, so in if we go complete read this all question, all occurrence of the character must be replaced with another character. Okay, so like if we are having o, how many times if we are replacing o with a or a with o, okay, so wherever we will encounter this o we have to replace with the same value a, and in the same way if we are wherever we will encounter a we have to replace it with the same value as o. Okay, so here if we see if we replace the character o with the same value a, so we are getting baa, but what is our desired string is bar, so we are not able to get t from s, so we can say this is not an isomorphic string, so we will return false. Okay, and another thing is which we have to preserve the order of the characters. Okay, so we have to take care of the order of the characters, like okay, if egg is there, so edd, like we have to preserve their mapping also, like g is mapped with, so it is at the proper index, like it is at the first index, so d should also be at the first index. Okay, like see this example, if we are mapping, we are replacing p with t, okay, a with I, okay, and p is already mapped, e with l and r with e. Okay, so what here they are saying, preserving the order, like this could be t t I l e, title. Okay, so what we can say, yes, we can convert s from t, but their relative order is changed, because if we convert this using this mapping na, then we will get t I T L E, title. So we can say as T we have two times, L we have one time, and E is also one time, and E is also one time in this string also, but the relative order of this string is changed. Okay, so we cannot say that we can form T from S. So okay, so in this case also we will return false for this specific case where instead of title we are having TTILE. Okay, no, oh, and one more thing, no two character may map to the same character, yeah, this is okay, but the character may be mapped to itself. Okay, so this is isomorphic string. Okay, so we have encountered, like we have understood the problem. Now let's look for the solution approach here. Okay, so let's consider this problem only. So what we can do is, like okay, like when if we are implementing brute force approach, what we can do is we can replace each character at a particular time, and we can check to the desired string. So like if we are mapping, if we are changing p to t, then our string becomes t a t e r. We can check, okay, if it is desired string, no. Okay, then we can map a to I. Okay, then our strings becomes t I t e r. Okay, then replacing e or mapping e with l. Okay, so it will be t I t l r. Okay, and finally if we are replacing r with e, okay, so it will be t I t l e. Okay, so we are able to get string t from s. Okay, but we have to reverse check it. So let's say title. Okay, so using this same mapping. Okay, P A B replaced with T. Okay, so T is replaced with P. So P I P L E people. Then L is replaced with A. So P A P L E. Okay, and E is replaced with okay, T. E is replaced with okay, L. Sorry, L. It is L. Okay, so P A P E E. Okay, and E is replaced with R. P A P E R. Okay, so we are able to get T from S and S from T. So we can say this is isomorphic string. So this is brute force approach where we will replace each character and we will check. Okay, so in this approach, what we are doing, we are creating multiple, like we are comparing multiple strings, and we are comparing each string with the result or desired answer. Okay, so this is not an optimal approach. So what we will do, we will go for the optimal approach. So for optimal approach, what we can use here is hash map. Okay, so what basically we can do here is we can like we have to preserve the order of the characters and we have to replace the character with the same character. Okay, like okay, so what we can do, we can have a array. Okay, we can have two array where we will map and we will store their occurrence, like we will map p with t and we will store their indexes, like last where we have encountered this. So let's say this is p, this is t. Okay, so we have encountered it in 0 index. Okay, and then t is also at 0 index. So whenever again we will encounter, now we will check whether their previous, like if we have previously encountered them and whether they have the same index or not. Okay, then okay, let's dry run this and continue. So we have got a, it is at the first index and we have mapped it with I, so it is also at first index. Okay, and then paper. Okay, now again this is the case, like we have encountered paper and we have encountered t here. Okay, so we will check whether the if we have previously encountered them. Okay, yes, if we have previously encountered them, what was their index value, like at what index we have encountered them. So if they are same, so we will return, we will continue with our remaining string, and if they are different, then we will get to know na, like yes, they have encountered previously but they are not mapped to each other. Okay, their position are different, so we can say yes, this is not an isomorphic string because we have to form S from T and T from S. Okay, in the same way, but here these are same, so we will move with our remaining string. So we have mapped a e with 0 1 2 3. Okay, and L with 3. Okay, and then we will finally get R, which is at the fourth index, and E at the fourth index. Okay, so we can say if we successfully encounter, like we successfully traverse our overall string, then we can say yes, this is an isomorphic string. Okay, so we will return true. But if there is a case like this where we have encountered a character previously and their indexes values are not same, then in that case we will return false. If we look for this example, let's clear this section, just a second. Okay, so here if we create a map. Okay, so what f we have encountered at 0 index and it is mapped with bar or b, which is also at 0 index. Okay, now we have encountered o, which is at the first index, and we have encountered a, which is at the first index. Okay, now okay, we have encountered 0 again here, so it is at the first index. Okay, but okay, we have encountered 0, which is at the first index, but we are having r, which its value is not present in this index. Okay, it is not present in this index, so what we can say is here, this is not okay, we have o, which is at the second index, and r, okay, which is at the second index, but we already have occurrence of o, which is at the first index. Okay, so these two does not map to each other. Okay, so we can return false here because these are not isomorphic strings because we are not able to form T from S. Okay, and reverse is not possible because if we are not able to go in one direction, then how we can return from that? Okay, so if we are not able to form T from S, then it is also true that we cannot form S from T. Okay, so now we have pretty well understood the question. Now let's see implementation. So as we discussed, we will make hash map to array, or we can say int. Let's say s map, which can yeah, here we can snt consists of all valid ASCII characters. So here we can take 128, okay, which we can initialize it with 0. Okay, we see t or vector of int s map to t map. Okay, 128 comma 0. Now what we will do, first of all, we should check if this is the edge case. We should check if the string s.length length is not is equals to p.length. If their string length are not equal, then in any case we cannot form one from another. We will return false. Okay, now what we will do, if we will do for int I is equals to 0, I is less than s.length length I plus plus. Okay, now what we will do, we will first of all check if we will check, but later on what we will do, we will map each character with its index, like we have mapped each character with its index. But here what we are doing, we have initialized our array, like we have in s map, we have initialized it with 0. So each occurrence, each index will have a 0. Okay, so what we will do, we cannot then in this case there will be inconsistency if we map 0. So what we will do, we will encounter it with we will add it with I plus 1. Okay, so we will add here I plus 1 because 0 is already mapped to each and every at each and every index. Okay, so because 0 is already, we are initializing these two with 0 only. Okay, so what we will do as map of okay, s of I is equals to I plus 1. Okay, and then same way t map of s of I is equals to I plus 1. So what we are doing, sorry, here should be t. So what we are doing, we are mapping, we have mapped with 0 and we have mapped with 0. Okay, so what now we need to check, if we have to check with whether s map s of I is having the same value. If not having the same value, then what we will do, we will return false because we have encountered the position where their occurrences are not aligned. T of I, so in that case we will return else. So this is the only case, like, okay, so if we have encountered p and t at the second index, okay, so we will check its previous index whether they are encountered at the same position, or previously they have encountered at the same position or not. If it is, then we will continue with our loop and we will update the current index, and if it is not, we will return false. Like in this case, what we have done, we have o with a. Okay, then again we will encounter a index is a O index is 1. Okay, O index is 1 and we R index should be 2. So we can say that these are not two aligned with each other. Okay, so we will return false. So let's run. It accepted. Now let's submit. it is submitted successfully. Now regarding the time complexity and space complexity, as we are using constant space, so we can say that yes, space complexity is capital O of 1, and we are having a string of same length. We are working it for same length. So, and if the length of the string is n, then we can say its time complexity is capital O of n. Okay, so thank you for watching.